Welcome to the factory. My name is BenTheBot, and today I have something very different for you guys. So normally what I do is I'm on here playing a game or something in VR for you guys to see, but today I want to show you guys my Fallout 4 Sanctuary Hills settlement. Now, this isn't the character on the playthrough that I'm actually up on the channel with. This is my personal Sanctuary Hills. One thing I'll say in advance is that this is a very big settlement, so you have to excuse the frame rate drop once I'm starting to walk around there, but it's still, good enough to see, so it should be fine. So here is my character, and then we'll walk over the hill. I'm right near the red rocket right now, and we'll go check out my sanctuary. Alright, so we're about to go across, and like I said, the frame rate is going to be pretty bad when we're in sanctuary, but it's not going to be unbearable. So here you have, I'll go in first person actually. Here is a front view of my Sanctuary Hills. Now you'll notice there's lots of walls, not only around the settlement but also in the water, and I'll explain that to you guys in a second. So we're going to get above my sanctuary and go ahead and zoom out a little bit here, just to show you guys all of the stuff from a bird's eye point of view. Gotta go out pretty far to see everything, but I've done a lot of work on this settlement, so I'm really excited to show you guys it. I think it'll be interesting to go through and explain everything and all the little details that I've put into it. This might be a lengthy video, we'll see once I've finished it, but let's go ahead and jump right in. Alright, so when we're first coming over the bridge here, I have a guard station where I have one person with an actual barrier, and then over here is just a place for him to stand in a little area that's lit up at night so that people know there's still somebody stationed here at the front of the settlement. And there's the Sanctuary Hill sign. Real quick, I'll just show you guys what this front looks like at night. Now keep in mind I have the Darker Nights mod on, so it will change it a little bit, and that's why I have these lights out so you can see, just that little station with that chair and table at night. So here is what it looks like at night. That way you can tell this guard is invisible. But over here, we have a little table with some stuff on it. And it's all lit up. Everything you guys see I've placed obviously using different mods and different stuff in the workshop. And all of my guards and all of my people who are on defense have armor. Full armor. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and walk into the settlement and see what's going on. So immediately you'll notice that the walls that I have are actually twice as high as the regular junk fences, and this is one of the mods that I have. And then when we walk up here, I have a barrier all the way around the entire settlement, whether it's fence or this concrete right on the front. And basically what this is you come in here, and I have a guard stationed here for one who tries to get in. This door is locked because I have a mod that lets me unlock and lock doors. And over here is a little area with a jail cell for anyone who tries to break into my settlement that's not allowed in here, like raiders or anything like that. Then we'll go ahead and open this. And now we're on the first inside section of the settlement. So, on the inside, on this side over here, I have an entire wall of turrets. This goes all the way along this side of the road, with turrets all along. And up there, with a piece of a boxcar from a train station, I have a guard post with a guard inside of it. Then down on this side, I have a clinic for Doc Weathers, which is the caravan doctor, and I have a station for him and a place for him to treat people on this little like semi-interior market looking kind of area that I built. Then over here I have a station for Cricket, who is actually here right now, And with one of the mods that I have, I can place where I want the guards to be, and where I want her to stand behind the counter at it. And she'll walk around and do other stuff. She has specific chairs that she can sit in, and this is a weapon workbench that she will actually use. And then over here is another caravan area for other caravan people to come through and use. And then this is the main gate to the inside of my sanctuary hills. We recently just got attacked by some robots, but they were quickly taken care of by this insane amount of defense over here. And over here you'll notice that I have this sectioned off, and this is the path down to the vault in case I ever want to go back there. I didn't want to completely isolate myself from it. And I can lock that door. Alright. Now, we can go inside of Sanctuary Hills. Alright, so I'm going to try and do this in the best way possible that explains everything without taking a super long amount of time. So, over here, I have a bar or a saloon, whatever you want to call it. And one thing that you'll notice immediately about my settlements is that their buildings are not, very block-like. I have a lot of broken up structure, that way it doesn't look unrealistic, There's a lot of improvised looking structure to it. There's supports everywhere, nothing just hovers. That's just for me because I like to make my structures look as realistic as possible. And everything has proper support underneath of it. Over here is the elevator to get up to that defense post up there. So going inside of the bar, first you have a little waiting area with a bookshelf and a fireplace and a couch. And this goes into a little medical center for people to use just kind of on the fly in case anyone needs quick medical attention. Then, if you go into this area, you can see I have tables laid out with food and some different kinds of seating for people to sit at, with cups and different decorations and stuff placed around, and an actual shop over here for meat and food that people will come and sit and eat at. And I can actually go up and get stuff from him and he earns me caps. But a lot of this stuff you guys probably already know because it's, implemented already settlement stuff. But I just have a mod that decorates it up a little bit more. And then up here, if this guy will get out of my way. Hello, sir. How are you?
Well, there's more news of fighting in the Commonwealth.
Thank you. This is the upstairs part of the actual bar. Since it's not nighttime, there's not a lot of people in here right now. They're either out working, farming, or running other stores. But I have a pool table that I used wood to turn into an actual table and placed a radio and some other stuff on top of here. Over here I have seating all the way around with different stuff going on. Again, same thing. I have a lot of little decorations all over the tables. Some cigars that are still lit. You can actually see the smoke coming off of it. Over here I just have a radio and some more posters. I have some animals like the Yaguai up on the wall, and a rad stag over here. And then I have the bar here with different stuff on top of it, and drinks back on the shelves, and some more posters and everything. And up here I actually put another store that has decorations on it. And I have Sheffield running the store just because I thought it was funny how much he liked Nuka-Cola. So I thought it'd be fitting to put him in charge of all the drinks. And I have a Nuka-Cola machine over here. And I actually used some wooden boards to make this side off of the windows into a little table with some chairs and stools for people to sit at. Like I said, I apologize for the frame rate. It's pretty much in the like 20s and teens right now. But it shouldn't be too bad. And then over here on the outside, I just have a little sitting like patio area if it's nice outside for people to sit and eat at. And then over here, I just have a general trader with a fireplace and a store over here. And then right now there's not actually a merchant at it, but sometimes there are merchants, and I'll be able to show you guys that. And when they do come over here, it's actually all stocked with their merchandise. And I just have some more storage for him back there. And I imagine that's the house that he would live in. And then over here I have another turret. And you'll notice there's electric poles and light poles going all throughout my settlement. And all of that power is coming from these generators. I have about 10 fusion core generators over here that power the entire settlement. And I send all the power through this one light pole, or this one electric pole. And then what I've done is I have electric poles all throughout the entire settlement. And each house or each structure has a switch in front of it that will turn off the power that goes just to that building, whether it's a house or a bar or the workshop or anything like that. The next thing I'll show you guys is my house. Now, I've spent a lot of time building, decorating, and perfecting the way that I wanted my house to look. But I'm pretty happy with the way that it's turned out. So, this will give you a little bit of a better view of it. What I've done is I've taken the original house and built around it, because I like the idea of using the pre-existing structure to build on, since I would miss life from before the war. So what I've done is everything has its proper supports built on top of the house, either that or all the way down to the ground like this over here. And then I have a way to get up inside of the house, either from this balcony that I built over here, which has stairs going up to it, or there's another way that I'll show you guys in a second. So when you're at the very front of my house, I have this welcome home sign right here on top of this like corrugated metal. And the way that I made that is I actually took regular walls and downsized them and built a sign out of it. And I actually have a gate that comes down in front of the house.
I've never lost anyone before.
I've got a mod that gives me a waving Minutemen flag and a floodlight or a construction light shining on my power armor here, or one of my power armors. And then over here what I did is I took one of the props from the Vault-Tec Workshop DLC that was the Vault Boy and shrunk it down, and then made a gas mask and an army helmet and a chest piece, a combat armor chest piece, and shrunk it down a little bit and actually put it on there as if it was wearing it. I got a radio right here, and then you lift this up and you can go towards my house. I put a little overhang here on front with a bench in between the bushes, and then I have my own personal clinic where a doctor works over here that I can always get my radiation and health fixed and buy stim packs and stuff like that. Then we'll go inside the house. And my idea for the inside of this house was that since I have so much room above, this is still my house, but I let my favorite companions live in here. So I've decorated it up for a place to give them a place to eat and sleep and entertain themselves and stuff like that. So I have some stuff up on the walls. Over here, I left the bathroom pretty much the same, except I have a mod that puts in working showers. It's called the CWSS Redux that adds in working showers, toilets, and stuff like that. I have some more Mr. Handy fuel for Codsworth over here. And then a bedroom over here with just some, bottle caps and other stuff on the nightstand, and a little couch and table. And then another room in here for 2 people, then a TV and some other stuff on top of this dresser. And everything that's open I boarded up, including the ceiling. I used wood to board it up. There are mods that let you fix the ceilings, but I think those look a little bit unrealistic, so I decided to patch them up myself. And I do have a mod that also gives me working fireplaces. But then, over here, is how you get into my upstairs part of my house. The most painstaking part of this build was definitely the wiring, because I had to wire everything throughout all the buildings, and they're all fully lit up, and that took a really long time to do. So in here is my house. When you first come up, I have a coat hanger with some hats and different clothes on it. In here I have all of the kind of drugs and first aid stuff, like stim packs and rataways and stuff like that. That opens up. In this fridge I have all of my uncooked meat, and in this one I have all of my cooked and processed food. Over here I have a doghouse for dog meat that I've decorated up for him. I put his name on it and some lights across by shrinking down regular lights. I put a miniature little traffic light on there because I thought that would look cool, and a light over his dog bowl, and Jangles the moon monkey on the side. Over here I have a key rack that I have some keys on, and a Nuka-Cola sign above the doghouse. And then in here is all of my clothing and weapons, and my armor as well. So in these 2 chests I have all of my legendary armor and all of my legendary weapons. Up here I have unique, or some of my favorite weapons that I found on other people, like the alien blaster, Virgil's rifle, the rifle that you get from Paladin Dance in the beginning when you talk to him first, the limitless potential that you find in University Point when you go into that secret area, when you hit the button behind the safe, and a flamer, just because I like the way it looks over here. Then I have Kellogg's armor on display and the vault suit on display, an armor workbench, and other different pistols and rifles over here. And then I have all of my full clothes, headwear, chest armor, arm armor, leg armor, and then unique outfits. And over here I have my explosives. I have Fat Man on display, and then I have a locker for different types of weapons. So I have one for pistols, one for rifles, one for sniper rifles, one for the Fat Man and other big weapons, and one for melee weapons. Then over here I have a fireplace that I've placed different unique things on top of. A lot of this is the unique stuff from Jamaica Plains when you find the treasury room. Like the Youth League baseball, the Anchorage flag, the classroom globe, the derby, and I have a model Vault-Tec van. Then over here I have a desk that has a terminal on it that actually works. I have all of my holotapes in this little chest that I've shrunk down and put on top of the desk. I just decorated it with some holotapes. I have a Pip-Boy model that I've put on top of here, and this is a case for the 2076 World Series baseball bat. Over here I have all the comics that I've collected so far in this playthrough, and some signs above. And then I have models over here. I have a Protectron, Mr. Handy, Mr. Gutsy, an iBot, some odd combinations that you can see through the robot Workbench, and then an Assaultron, a Rad Scorpion, and a model Yaguai. And then over here are the bobbleheads that I've collected so far. I have a pool table over here, and some more posters. Now, one of my favorite things that I have up here is that you'll notice that this wall I've actually kind of fenced in a little bit, but there is a target over there. And what I do is I take my gun out and I shoot that. And the siren goes off to let people know that there's being an attack on the settlement, and they all run to their guard posts. And I wanted a way to do that quickly if I heard an attack. That way they can all get ready and go to their different posts if there's an attack, and I can shoot it right from here instead of having to run out and trigger the thing myself. And if I shoot it again, after this last one, it'll turn itself off. Yeah, see, this guy just ran up to the guard post, but now it's turned off, so he's walking away. Alright.
Boy, I mean, it's something. I mean,
over here,
I'm not
let me
saying
put my gun away.
say.
Over here,
I'm
I have a pool table with every pool ball on it.
And, you know, of course,
And the thing that you guys may be wondering the most about is I enlarged the TV because I thought it looked cool really big. It would give me something big to look at. Over here I have a poster and just some food and different stuff on the table. And this is actually a holotape player. I have a mod that will play things on the TV when I put holotapes in here. Like I have one for old cartoons and one for different stuff like that.
Something to think about, I guess.
Over here I have some other magazine racks that I haven't filled in yet.
Like the last thing I'd want to do is
And then when I walk in here,
go looking for
I have
material.
that is the only problem with the TV, is that it sticks to the back, but it doesn't bother me that much, so I just leave it the way it is. I have a dresser over here with different stuff on top of it. Typewriters, some bottle caps, and just different stuff like that. Over here I have my Minutemen General's uniform, because I completed this playthrough with the Minutemen. And over here is my bed. I have a mini Nuka-Cola machine that I shrunk down. A 2-person bed for me and whichever companion I decided to be with at the time. I shrunk down a radio and put it over here. And shrunk down a motorcycle and a model car and put them over here. A little dresser that I turned into like a file cabinet kind of thing, that I have all the different papers that I've picked up, and a safe for all the little unique items that I have. And a little bobblehead up there. Or not a bobblehead, a little Vault Boy statue up there. And a curtain, of course, so I can have privacy. And this is actually where I brought the power in from outside, that little hole right there in between the wood. It's all strung up in here. But that about does it for my house up here, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and now show you the little balcony that I made. I have a working grill over here. There's some containers for ammo and guns and stuff like that, the little duffel bag. And then I just have some chairs and some decorations on the table, like some caps on a chessboard, and, you know, just some bottles stacked up to throw a ball at, and different drinks and food and stuff like that. So we'll go ahead down here and back around. I'll go ahead and close this. And then we'll look over here real quick.
It was you Minutemen that finally did in the Institute, huh? That was some overdue payback.
And then I have some, you know, little like scavenging stations for people to be working at and stuff like that. And a little table over here to make it look like they were working on patching up this wall with some tools and a lamp. And then tucked away over here, I have a grave for Nora. And then on this side, I actually have a little bunker that I made, and I'll show you guys that. So this was my imagination of what a bunker would look like if it was here before the war and after. So what I've done is I've placed things around that are in like perfect condition that were down here before anything blew up, right? So I have a perfect looking table and a stove, and some of this furniture is perfect looking. But then I have other things that are improvised, so it kind of shows that over time I've brought more stuff down here since the bombs have been dropped. Like for this improvised table and this improvised table and stuff like that. One of my favorite things about it is how I like stacked the food up on this, but also over here I have a bed that would have been down here already, but then I built a little shelf over top of it to put a radio and some models on top of with a lamp. And over here I have a chest, and I imagine this would be, you know, his armor from when he was in the military before he came home and everything happened. I have a little ham radio over here, and in here I just have a little bathroom. Alright. And it's just all lit up and electricity's going through it all and everything like that. Okay, and I have a little shelf over here with some stuff on it. Let's head back out. Alright, we're back out. And the next thing I'll show you guys is right over here. And this would be Sturgis and Preston and Garvey's house. But in here I have a little work area. There's Sean under the table again. I don't know what he's doing, but whatever. I have a little workstation for my power armors over here, with some open windows and stuff. But then in here is actually Preston and Sturgis' house. So they just have some crates and containers and stuff over here. And I gave him a little table like that with some food and books and drinks and stuff on it. A little rec room over here with some seats, blast radius, a fireplace, a little basketball hoop, and some weights. And then in here is Preston's room. Pretty basic. I just put some stuff on top of here to make it look more personalized. And same thing with Sturgis' room. And he's lucky because he has the window room that looks outside. Alright. The next thing...
It's hot today.
Thanks, Sean. The next thing is I have a little shack for purified water storage. So it's just like some barrels and, you know, a cooler that I can actually fill a bottle at. You know, just some stuff like shelves with purified water and stuff like that. And then out here, I actually have water pumps that purify water right out of the ground, and the generators for them, and a regular pump here. And just some chairs out front, or just one chair, I guess. Okay. And then let's see. If you go over here next, I have a shower house with some mats and stuff on the ground. There's toilets all on this side, again, that are all actually usable and settlers will use them. And side with bathtubs and showers over here, and same thing, the settlers will use these. Got a little wet floor caution thing right there, and some graffiti on the walls. Alright, we'll go back out here. And then this house over here is June and Marcy Long's house. And what I've done is I've made them a little improvised stove out here, which I thought was pretty cool. Basically what it is like it's concrete, and then I put down one of the actual like planter things, but what I did was I put a campfire on top of that, so it's kind of on the dirt in between this concrete. I placed some fence and some metal grating sideways across the top, and then just put some meat and pots and pans and stuff on top of it to make it look like they're cooking food on top of it. And then over here, since, you know, they're very scared since the death of their son, it has made them very, like, timid and afraid, but also kind of angry. There's a turret right inside their house with a chair here, and I imagine, like, Sturgis comes here and helps fix it up for them if anything goes wrong. This door opens up, and what you find inside here is that even though, you know, they're kind of, like, scared and they're very kind of like rude towards people, or at least Marcy is, and June kind of keeps to himself, what they've made for themselves in here is a very cozy, comforting place, you know, a place where even though they're very bitter towards the world, they want to be able to come in here and just forget about everything and be comfortable. So I've placed some rugs down, some mattresses with sleeping bags on top of them, a fireplace with the TV, you know, just a place for them to do dishes, and, you know, just a table over here for them to eat at, and then a little, like, place for them to grab their stuff before they head to the shower house in here. That way not every house really needs a bathroom. Beds for them over here with all the walls boarded up and everything because they really want to keep themselves and be safe, with some little decorations on their dresser, and another fireplace and a rug. And then a little, like, storage room for them over here with some chairs and stuff. Alright, let's go ahead and back out here. And the next house we'll see, and same thing, see how I was talking about earlier, every house has a switch to it. This turns off all the lights to Mama Murphy's house. I imagine she would have the house at the end of the street just because she's like a more, you know, like central kind of character who can actually help you. And for some reason, I guess that inspired me to put her here at the end instead of just along the road itself. And what I've done here is, you know, she has a nice little peaceful place to sit and look out the window with some Bob Ross Best and a book. But then over here is where she uses her sight, right? It's a very relaxing place, but also kind of like ritual looking with candles all around and lots of chems strewn all over the place, and a skull and just some kind of like creepy imagery, but also very, you know, very ritual looking at the same time, like I said. This is an empty room. She has a shower in here. I think it's actually a broken one that doesn't work, so she has to use the shower house. She has some other people in here that live with her, just settlers that need a place to live, because she's a pretty, you know, friendly person, and sometimes I imagine they would talk to her and see what she knows about the site. I have a shelf here with all their clothes on it, and, you know, just some decorations on the tables. And imagine this guy's like eating out of a box of sugar bombs a night for a snack and drinking a Nuka-Cola. And then in here is Mama Murphy's room. She has a bed with a sleeping bag and a pillow on it for extra comfort, and some stuff on it, more chems and stuff like that, and then some bottle caps and a bowl of noodles and a couch. I like to put a lot of detail in every house, and some people might think that's over the top, and I mean, it's obviously the reason why I have such a low frame rate here, but I just really like having a fully, you know, immersive settlement. So before we get over to the market area, the next thing that I want to show you guys is what's up here. I built a little place for everyone to hang out at nighttime, just besides the bar. You know, I have a campfire up here on this concrete, these like bricks and everything, with some chairs around it, a chessboard, and just a place for people to sit with a radio and some drinks up here, and a turret looking down onto the road. And then up here is that guard post that I was telling you guys about earlier, where I shoot this target that turns on the siren. And this is him standing here looking over the road at the main gate. Then we'll head back down here and look at the market. So basically what I've done is I put, you know, signs up for everything that's in this market area. I used wood supports and different pieces of wood boards and stuff to build this little kind of arch gateway looking thing with just some, you know, random decorations of like storage on the side. And then I have a bar.
There's a big construction.
Which is this over
Thanks for
here,
the opportunity.
which I have like a better stores mod, so it makes more like realistic looking shops instead of just every store looking the same. A little sitting area, since this isn't the main bar, people can still get a drink and kind of chill out over here.
Or do we think
A gun shop, and this is what I was talking about, where like when they stand in front of it, it actually gets stocked up with stuff inside of it. You can see, you know, the guns and ammo and the different grenades and stuff like that. And I can get different things from him. This is the general store with the Vault-Tec rep as the main trader, because he's the best one for that, since he has like legendary weapons and stuff like that. I have a barber over here where I can get my hair cut and changed.
This failure is new to me.
And armor salesman over here, and I actually decked him out in full armor to make it look like he really knew what he was doing. And clothing, and this lady sells clothes. She's got a nice sporty cappy jacket on from Nuka World. A surgeon over here, and then an actual medic where I can come buy first aid stuff and also, you know, cure my health and rads and stuff like that. And everyone in the settlement can use it. And I just have some random like storage looking stuff in here, some lights. And then what I've done is I built a house for the people that actually work in the market. This is the downstairs. I left this pretty simple because I was placing so many decorations, like I said, that, you know, it started to affect my frame rate, so I was trying to save space on this one since I won't really be in here a lot. But, you know, I still gave them some beds and some, you know, storage underneath, and I'm pretty sure up here is just beds for them with some lights and everything. And I gave them windows to look out by using door frames and then snapping those like wooden rail things. That way it just leaves it open at the top. And then we'll go back down and back out. And there's more beds in that house over there. On the other side, that's like one of the actual pre-war houses for people to sleep in that work on the market. And then we'll go back out this way. I'm trying to move along a little bit faster than I was in the beginning, because I noticed how, you know, slow I was taking every detail. You come back up here
It's astounding how much
and
we
go
still
down the
have to
stairs.
discover out here.
And this is my workshop. I built it out of concrete, and mostly concrete, because I wanted it to look more like industrial kind of looking. I have a mini fusion core generator over here. And this is my weapons workbench, where I have some weapons up on the wall. This is my chemistry station, where I have some like test tubes and different stuff that I've been working on, and the actual chemistry station with a rad roach and a bloatfly up on the wall to be inspected. Over here I just have some tools and materials, with different, you know, like wrenches and stuff up there, and just like steel and other stuff to work with. And then over here is my armor workbench, where I have different armors up on the wall, like Nuka World stuff and leather and metal armor, the pretty basic stuff, and raider armor, and an armor workbench I can use. Then if I go up here, I have a robot workbench, you know, with other decorations like random robot pieces and paint and a paintbrush and just different tools and materials and stuff like that. I actually had to leave the top open because of how tall the robot workbench is, but I actually kind of like the way it looks open. It gives it a more like, you know, workshop looking kind of feel, where like, you know, it's open to the weather. I put up one of the signs about all the different robot pieces that you find in old railroad HQ underneath the Slocum Joe's donut shop. And then again, another working terminal over here. This window is where I have the power coming in to everything. You have some more decorations on the desk. Over here I just have some more tools and some working materials and stuff like that. And over here I just put a little sleeping area in case I or somebody else wants to, you know, just work here overnight and, you know, catch a quick nap or something, with a nice little window to the outside. And then this goes down to one of my favorite places in the workshop, downstairs here. Another miniature fusion core generator with a jukebox and a Nuka-Cola machine. And I left this a little more open with a sign that says up. And then this is for my power armor. And I used a shipping crate door as the entrance. And you come down here, you know, close this off, and you just have, you know, a nicely decorated power armor workbench area with different power armor pieces up on the wall, lots of tools and posters and different, you know, pieces that I could use to work with, and chemicals and stuff like that. A bunch of different scrap and stuff to work with. A filing cabinet for, I would imagine, different like blueprints of different power armor and stuff that would be inside of there. You know, just a nice kind of like picturesque looking place to work on my power armor. A very, you know, secure place. Back up the wooden ramp, and I just get back on here and back up to floor number 2. And back down, and that's pretty much everything in the workshop. The next part that we're going to look at is the farming area. And what I've done over here is I have fields of mute fruit over here, you know, with a bunch of different people working on it. I actually have 40 settlers in my sanctuary hills, so I have lots of people working on food. There's plenty of food for everybody. I've put the melons in a crate and the corn in a crate, but it kind of glitched out, so I'll have to work on fixing that. A crate for the mute fruit, and for some reason it must be a mod or something in my game that turned all the mute fruit orange. I'm not really sure what did that, or if that's something vanilla. I'm not really sure exactly what happened, but either way it doesn't really matter.
Now, where did I put my script?
I have a barrel of potatoes over here that people are collecting when they work on the potatoes.
What's up?
And a Brahmin feeder thing over here, and some more
I'm feeling
like
overdue for some
scrapping
reconstructive surgery.
workbenches over here, and like scrap collector.
I could use some fun.
And then if we go down over here, back out of the farming area. I have other houses for settlers. Same thing, they all have a switch that turns on and off the power to their house. And I've decorated all of these so they look like a real lived-in space with different personality, you know. Over here is just like your basic house with a fireplace and some bloatfly meat cooking over the fire with a lighter on top so you know they have something to light the fire with. Some food and stuff on the table. A little alarm clock for the both of them. And some caps under their beds and just some, you know, decorations and stuff like that. This person has 2 pillows because they need extra comfort to sleep. And a little book to read over here. And then if you go down, there's a little kind of like stairs down this piece. You open up this one. In here I have some, you know, 2 beds. A place for them to eat in the center. And I imagine this is where they would walk in, drop their keys down, and bring home the food that they had brought to eat from farming or maybe from the market or something like that. In here I have a TV with, you know, some pallets stacked up so that they can actually watch it at a proper height. And having like improvised furniture is always a cool thing to me. Some more sugar bombs somebody's snacking on. And another little like scrap workbench. Close that door. Same thing, they have a switch. And then over here is the last settler house. I imagine the person who lives in here is a little bit more, you know, like intellectual. And also is like a good, you know, host. So I have a bunch of chairs around here with some games and stuff like that. There are beds over here in a little bit of secluded area. They have a bookshelf over here and a... Oops, didn't mean to sit down. But this is a ham radio. And then a little model that they've been working on. And a place to sit down and look at that entrance to the settlement in this chair with their little footlocker. Now that entrance is something that's actually goes to one of my favorite parts of the settlement. But before we go over there, I'm going to show you guys this, which is another centralized location for people to hang out around a fire with some chairs, and I have a radio here with Travis talking.
They did it.
Oh, that's funny. I have radios so many places in the settlement that when I turn it off, oh, there's still one here.
They stormed the institute and
I just have too many radios, but with some mattresses in here, if people feel like, you know, sleeping outside or whatever just to enjoy the evening air. And that's pretty much it for this little area. I just built little, like, structures to make it look more official looking and more like a little structure for them to come to. And then down here, I have a little like docking area and a little like arbor or harbor, however you want to pronounce it. I've got like a path of wood and concrete all along here. Over here is kind of like a little lookout area onto the water and what's below. And basically I left this open so boats can come through here. They'll come on, you know, anchor or tie in or however they want to do it. Leave their boat. They'll come in and drop off their merchandise or sell it at the market or do whatever they want to do. And notice I've got like different types of like railings and stuff just to make it look more realistic. And, you know, and just some more boats along the way. I turned this shipping crate into, you know, a little like shop for drinks and stuff that a guy will stand behind here and sell, you know, the drinks to people who can come down, sit over here, whether it's daytime or nighttime with some lamps out and stuff, and just drink and smoke and have a good old time. Another little guard post back here, some more boats, and then just a little storage shack over here.
may be constantly trying to kill us, but the Commonwealth never lacks for excitement.
And I have, you know, this fenced in all the way around. That way, even though this is on the front of the settlement, people still can't just run in. It's still protected. Real quick, I'll just show you guys what some of the cool areas at night look like with the campfires and stuff like that. But other than that, that's pretty much it. So let's check this out real quick. You know, so over here you just have a nice little like campfire area like I showed you guys earlier, with just a nice like fire glow at night with the radio. You know, people can listen to some relaxing music and everything, just look up at the night sky. Right now it's kind of cloudy, but a lot of times you can see the stars, and you know, it's a very peaceful kind of environment. You know, and with all the street lights, everything stays lit up at night, so it looks a lot like a little like main street of a town kind of thing at night. And you can see how all the houses have lights coming out of them and everything's fully lit up. I especially like the way that my house looks at night. Like I said, because of all the lights I have, whether it's on the balcony or, you know, this light shining on it from the front. You know, I think the settlement I've created I'm very happy with, just because of the amount of atmosphere that I feel is in it. So I'm glad to have been able to share it with you guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you guys are interested in seeing other settlements, I'll be doing that. And I'll do other videos on the other settlements I have coming up next. If you guys are interested in seeing a specific one, or you guys are interested in seeing other settlements that are, just let me know. You can tell me in the YouTube comments, or you can tell me at my different social media accounts. I'll put up an image right now that will show you that. And I hope you guys really enjoyed this. I had a lot of fun showing you, and if there's any questions you guys have, just same thing, just ask me in the comments. I'll be happy to talk to you. Other than that, I really enjoyed doing this. Hope you guys liked the video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.